So I had to go down to the town shed to get some sand because I got a lot of ice forming on my driveway. And I remember that a lot of people online are testing the sand for gold. So since I have some, I was like, let's see if my local town has some gold in the sand they're using. And I believe, I'll have to double check, but I believe this stuff is local. It's not imported. They have an actual sand pit near the town shed that they pull from. So it'll be interesting to see if there's actually gold in the area. But I only did probably about a gallon and a half of material that I separated down to a quarter inch. There's actually a lot of rocks and ice chunks in here. But yeah, I'm just gonna run that much. If I start seeing stuff, I'll run more. I'm actually hoping I don't find stuff because I have driven 3 hours way up into Maine, checking out rivers, and have been totally skunked. Not even one speck. So if there's gold 10 minutes from my house, it'll be exciting, but at the same time, it'll be a little frustrating that I've had gold all around me and I'm traveling everywhere else but here. But we shall see. But just so you know, I'll set up the camera once this is running. But normally I run the pressure on here with the sand, and most likely this is going to be real flour gold. I'm going to run the water level probably around here. It'll take a little longer to process, but we'll see. I might adjust it as we go. I did a couple just random scoops in here, so there is some material in here just to get the water pressure set to make sure it's going to work right. But let me get the camera set up in a position, and I'll just keep feeding this, and let's see. I'm curious. All right, I got it set up. The water's already a little cloudy. Not really excited about running salty sand through this setup, so I'm gonna have to definitely run some water after, make sure it cleans it out, especially out of the pump. But let me just set this a little better. Let me put a couple scoops in and let's see what happens. Yeah, it's definitely really clouding up, but not much I can do. Between the salt and just the light sand, this is gonna really not gonna be fun. Actually hoping there's no gold in here, because then I'll have to run the rest of it if there is. I think the flow is good. It's kind of hard to tell. Let that clear out to see how it's settling. There are some good chunks of rocks in here, so slowly clearing out. Yeah, this is going to be tough. You're probably not going to have to, you're not going to be able to see much. I'm just going to have to probably run it and show the results afterwards. Move in a little. Yeah, it's just not going to clear out. This is going to be brutal. All right, let me, I guess I'm just going to run a bunch of this, and then I'll show you the results once I pull the cover off and see if we have anything in there. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to be, maybe I'll go halfway, then I'll change out the water, so at least you can see some of what's happening in there. Definitely settling out slowly. But let me run some more, then I'll turn this back on. All right, I got about half a bucket of sand through this already, and it is just clouded up. I can't see anything, so I think it's time to take a peek and then maybe change out the water. Let me just finish running that. I think that's good enough. I don't even know if we'll be able to see much in the bottom of the box until I get some fresh water in here. Let me disconnect this. Let's take a quick peek. I don't know if there's a better way to filter this sand so it doesn't clog up the water as much. Yeah, you can't see much in here. This isn't gonna, some material in there. So we can get some of this to drain out. Yeah, interesting material. And maybe I'll, I gotta clean up the water anyways, but maybe I'll just do a quick pan of this just to see. I mean, it looks like my feed rate's pretty good. It's hard to tell. But if you see the water, I mean, it is just dirty. I got my little separator here, but I'm probably killing this pump. I'm sure it's not liking this. But I'm not really seeing anything in there. So yeah, let me clean this out, and we'll get in a pan, just do a quick check. Like I said, I got about another half of that bucket to go. So let me check. That is the material that is in the box. Let's see if there's any let's see if we can do this. Let's do a quick peek. It's pretty coarse. Looks like this was ground down. Not seeing anything. No, it's not looking good. This looks like a lot of mica. It's not really showing up. On focus. Yeah, it's not going to focus. There we go. Those specks are mica. It's not gold. And let me take a better look, but I think this is pretty much empty. So that was a dud. But there is still more sand to run, and maybe with some cleaner water I might get a little different results. Let me just pan this, finish panning this to confirm it. I'll set you back up in area. I finally I cleaned out the water, so you'll be able to see for a little while, but then it's going to get really muddy quick. But at least you can see the first few scoops and see how it stratifies it. It's working good. Not getting the material out too quick because this stuff is definitely lighter. Not seeing a ton of black sands and stuff, so that's not promising. It's already starting to cloud up. The pump doesn't sound happy either. I'm definitely gonna have to run some fresh water through it or pull it apart and clean it. Still doing it though. This stuff is so damp and thick, it's actually getting stuck in the hopper. I gotta keep using my finger to get it to go down. It's doing it though, it's processing. So let me finish this up. And then I'll show you right before I dump the material into the pan to see what we caught. But yeah, the water's already clouding up. I can't see much going on in there. I know it's processing it, but I can't see how well now. Just finished up. As you can see, the water is nasty again. I'm really gonna have to clean that pump out. That did not like running that salt and sand and all that. But luckily there's not much material in here. I thought that might have been a speck, but we'll see in a second. So let me get this in the pan and let's see what it looks like. It's clean. Not having high hopes with this from the last one, but let's see if this is clean enough to see through this. Yeah, not a lot of black sands. I'm actually surprised. Usually when you do sand, there's garnet and black sand and all kinds of good stuff. Ooh. Don't know if that's going to show up. Maybe one speck. It's hard to tell, but that definitely looked like gold in there. Yeah, that's a piece. Let's see if I can stabilize it. Yeah, it's going to be tough to show that. That is a small little speck. Yeah, that's definitely just to show how small that is. That's tiny. So over a gallon of sand just for one speck. Not worth it, which I'm actually glad. Because I don't want to have to keep panning or processing more of that dirt. That's not fun. So, yeah, if you're in the town of Ware, New Hampshire, where I'm located, it looks like there might be some gold in the sand. Just not enough to make it worth it to even check. So you could be spreading gold around your driveway and walkway. Kind of cool to see that. But, yeah. A lot of work for one little speck. Well, there you have it. There was gold in the sand. So technically, if you're in the town of Ware, New Hampshire, there is a few specks in there, but totally not worth it. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I mean, it does make sense. The whole Northeast was covered in glaciers at one point. Any little divot was going to be filled in with the sands and material that the glaciers are pushing. So the chances of finding little specks of gold are pretty high. Definitely not worth it. I mean, if you got a town shed that's giving out sand, grab a bucket, pan it out. Who knows what you're gonna find? Maybe you'll have better luck. I know other YouTubers have done this, and they had a lot better results than what I get, or what I got. But a lot of other towns import their sand, where I know mine has a pit that they're actually digging from. So we're just not in an area that has a ton of gold, where the other ones that are importing it from other could be from places up north where there's more potential of more gold. So kind of fun. Big pain in the ass to do, but I was curious. I had to get sand anyways. Lately we've got a lot of snow and ice, and the driveway's getting pretty slippery. But I was just curious, am I spreading gold all over my driveway and sidewalk? But now I know, pretty much no. I don't think I'll do that again. But yeah, I'll see you on the rivers. Definitely not at the town shed. I think this is gonna be a one-time thing. But until next time, have fun.